top or mid. Doenby, is known for his Pantheon mid. I would be very excited to see that go mid. I do think Pantheon is a tough matchup in Jace in the early levels, but you would have to call your jungler up there and look to play 2v2.
Yeah, I think he combos super well with Sylas, being able to get that stun.
Both teams locked in. The compositions look amazing. TSM always looking for that fight comp, and we'll have to see what Clutch can come up with here.
Every click.
Every frame.
Every press.
Every sound.
They're playing aggressive.
I'll take mid. Every advantage.
When the difference
Between winning and losing.
is measured in milliseconds.
Everything.
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 Everything counts.
The Alienware Legendary Battle Station.
And welcome back to TSM versus Clutch. Everything counts here. Does TSM get this second chance? Last year was the first that they missed Worlds. Now they have a hunger to make it back. Clutch Gaming looking to bring the Dignitas name back, but them themselves going for the first time, and how huge would that be?
So big. If Clutch can make it to Worlds, then they get to play more games as Clutch.
Immediately, first thing, zoning in, junglers spam pinging the Ocean Drake spawn. That's going to be first one, and that is always so big. I think even more so when you were playing, with this Sona-style team. But we can see Clutch grouped up as 5, heading down towards that bottom side, looking to use their very strong level 1 here for a potential invade.
Yeah, I mean, you can level up Pantheon's good old point-and-click stun. Nico can as well get the snare. See the walk in here. Vulcan gonna stay inside the Dragon Pit.
Yeah, Huni was spotted by that tower, though. You can see the question mark ping come out. So they will be able to get some early vision here, but certainly shouldn't be able to get more than that.
Yeah, and because they've already been seen, we probably won't get much action.
And we do have a quick sideline report with Avli and TSM's coach.
Thanks, guys. I am here with Coach Peter. Now, it's been a while since we've last seen TSM, so kind of give me the update. What's the state of the team like compared to the last time you took on Clutch?
We definitely feels better right now because we've been practicing really hard doing the break time, and I think we're ready to go.
And speaking of practice, in an interview released this morning from Travis Gafford, DeMonte had said that you guys had some scheduled scrim time against Clutch Gaming, but then after beating them the first time, you had canceled the rest of the day. So were they not worth your time?
I don't want to say, but the first time we scrimmed them, we shit on them really hard, so we just decided to scrim our Academy team.
Well, is that going to happen today?
Not sure, but we'll see.
Not sure, we'll see. Well, best of luck to you, and back to you guys.
Well, hopefully everybody washed their hands before coming back to play that.
Oh my goodness! Because this invade is resulting in Lyra being able to clear out the red side jungle here, I wanted to go over the play a little bit more. And it was actually a really well orchestrated level 1. Clutch were trying to get 3 people, all trying to get someone who was waiting into this tri-bush, but nobody was there. So they continue to invade, and you can see these wards that they have here for Lyra, clearing out the full red quadrant of TSM's jungle. And Spica should just go up to that top side, knowing that this has already been done here, so he doesn't waste any time.
Yeah, part of the follow of that, though, was Huni started his W. So that means that you're not going to be able to contest the push whatsoever at level 1. Jace does not have to worry about any spears being thrown out, anything along those lines. So we are seeing Broken Blade trading pretty aggressively here.
And this is the old Pantheon. We get a flashback here. Yeah, a lot of shouts from the audience because on live, people haven't been able to play it in a long time due to the rework, but it's a very straightforward champion. Trying to get harassment there, the Q spears that Zales was talking about are just targeted back in the old version. And he's also really good at setting up for possible ganks. But if he's left alone versus Jace, due to, split jungle camps, then it's going to be hard and he'll get whittled down.
One of the things I'm honestly really surprised about is in range matchups, old Pantheon, you almost always want to go Electrocute or Airy for the laning phase. He's actually gone Conqueror, which is pretty hard to stack in these melee versus ranged matchups. So very surprising to see that. And we have Broken Blade on the other side actually going for the Airy Scorch. So he certainly should have that poke advantage. But this is a Nico roam up to the top side.
Messing with Broken Blade's head just a little bit. They are kind of pinging that mid is gone, and Bjergsen will have noted that for the rest of TSM. See Broken Blade backing off there.
Yeah, that was good communication from Bjergsen saying that he is going for a recall here, whereas Demonte goes for the roam, possible play up top side. Again, the Pantheon point and click setup is great for either the jungler or the mid lane roaming up there, so it's going to be a point that TSM have to watch out for, because if Pantheon can get some kills rolling, he's so good at ganking the other lanes. Huni does have teleport, and Pantheon's ultimate used on bottom lane, even if it is a Tahm Kench, you get this big AoE, and you can just kill the Tahm Kench even if he devours the Sona.
See what Clutch Gaming's focus is as we continue this early laning phase. No junglers really getting in each other's hair just yet. We do see Scuttle control on the bottom side of the map, going over to Clutch, and it is Spica able to grab that top side. Another quick back here by Demonte as he picks up a few more items, getting harassed out here by Bjergsen.
And due to the champion select, Clutch should have a lot of pressure through the bottom half of the map, just inherently here. Vulcan and Cody Sun pushing in Smoothie and Sven, getting some damage on the turret plate, as well as trying to deny CS there, even to the Tahm Kench. Meanwhile, lane swap, just kidding, we've got a jungler swap as Spica is behind Huni.
Just cruising up. So Huni has a bit of a trouble here for himself. Lyric could possibly get some help. Teleport coming up to the top side already. Broken Blade's going to need to retreat out of this one. And Demonte doesn't want it. That's going to be the clone going forward.
Yeah, he did have to flash that route, so it is at least a flash traded for that TP from Demonte, but this does mean more free time for Bjergsen on that Azir to actually shove up mid lane here. And it will be quite a few minions lost for Demonte on that roam.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be some minions lost, and Bjergsen goes for an invade. Let's see if we get some deep vision down here for them. That control ward doesn't get cleared out too often. You can see the game plan from Clutch, though. They are throwing a lot of resources up towards the Pantheon, because those will be returned when he gets that level 6 and gets the ult elsewhere. You can see he's actually ahead in CS over the Jace.
And I still did like the TP because that actually saves Huni from dying, right? He is probably doomed in that situation. So yes, you know, the TP doesn't really pay off massively, but now Jace has no flash. So you can even look to try to set up a play up there with a flash stun into Silas flash follow-up.
He can even help out with the dragon here. The Ocean Drake you talked about, Azale, they're pinging it early on in the game. 6 minutes in, they've got everybody down here, and Huni can actually ult back to lane. Doesn't have to use it to gank for the team. That is going to be a lot of sustain, and that goes so far versus harassment lanes like Jace.
Yeah, it really does. When you are playing one of those early game bully style champions such as Jace, there is a lot of onus on you to get an advantage and to keep this person down. That being said, you know, Pantheon fairly early game focus here as well, but there is the farm drop. Boom. Oh,
Gets everything but the cannon.
He's got a T-net there too.
Yep.
Just the way it happens for us. Now we know it's real, right? So we see that playing into as well something that Clutch loves in 3.5 minutes, and that's Rift Herald. They can go to objective now with Ocean. They'll feel even more comfortable as they get themselves to that.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting. I'm going to be curious to see where Huni actually takes us with this build. You know, going for the Conqueror, going for Tiamat now as well. Feels like he wants to be able to push out the waves and then roam very heavily. You know, and if you are going to be battling it out 2v2 and whatnot against people like this Edge-20, that's where Conqueror is going to become probably a lot more effective.
Yeah, and he uses that Tiamat to push the wave and then invade the enemy jungle. He's being so active on this Pantheon already in the game, getting a lot done across the map for Clutch Gaming. He's got
no flash. Yeah, no flash on Jace.
Huni has his, though, so he can flash stun.
A little too quiet on the home front for Broken Blade. He doesn't want to step up too much. Nice grand entrance onto Smoothie. They should be able to walk out of this one. Always a war of attrition to keep that health going down on the sustain lane of Sona Tahm Kench. You can see Clutch getting pushed back off of what they thought was their aggression.
Certainly not the best trade there from them. You know, we've been seeing TSM actually handle these trades very, very well. You know, not panicking using Devour, not panicking using any important cooldowns too early on. But TSM now has that push on that bottom side, and we're looking to threaten an invade here, but it's not going to happen. And Lyra and Demonte now roaming down to this bottom side will be able to claim that blue.
Yeah.
Executioners for Cody Sun to start off. A possible dive, but it doesn't look like they're going to get in from the side of Clutch Gaming to come around and counter that.
They can see him on that deep ward that Bjergsen actually placed in the jungle too, roaming over. That's why he didn't step up any further. Early Executioners, as you're talking about, go so far against Sona lanes. Meanwhile, it is also going to be a jungle gank.
slowing it down. Vulcan's not really getting much follow-up on that hit, going in a little too early as the communication was actually to take out a ward for Lyra, and he gets down to 200 HP. Things are a little touch and go on the bot side. Now into mid, Emperor's Divide, Damonte back, but that's just a clone as he's safe, but still taking a hell of a lot of follow-up from the soldiers.
And Spica is still there with his ultimate, so Lyra gonna help to just actually push this out. We'll see if TSM wants to still commit to it without that ultimate. They're going in now.
Over the wall, Lyra's hit. Abyssal Voyage up from the bottom lane. This is gonna be TSM trying to make a move, and again, Damonte fakes out with the clone, disrupts everything that's trying to be happening in mid lane.
So they do get Lyra's flash with that Abyssal Voyage, but this is going to be money in the pockets of Cody's son here for Clutch Gaming. That's exactly what they want. A turret plate going down to the duo on the bottom side.
Everybody feeling like that first level 6 didn't come up big, so we're probably going to get a little bit of a lull before they get themselves back into an engage. Sitting on a ward, though, would definitely be quite tempting. A quick look onto Cody's son is Vulcan. The follow-up target, he would get a quick exit battle dance out of that fight. So no real kills just coming in yet. Nobody can get that first core item to make it happen either.
If we are going to see one, it could come from the Sylas combination now, because Pantheon does have ultimate available again for Huni. And when Pantheon has flash, again, the flash point and click stun is so big. Lyra now with the Sylas has completed the jungle item. Runic Echoes is a huge amount of burst damage for jungle Sylas. So there is definitely plenty of damage there, as well as CC to try and pull off a kill. It's just up to Clutch to try and get into position. TSM have very good defensive warding thus far, so they've been able to avoid it.
And this is the way they're going to force it. 10-minute Rift Herald. This is the classic Clutch play. They're going to it once again. They're actually going to expend the Cody Sun teleport, so they will just go topside, take this Rift, and then complete the lane swap up towards that top tower where they can really look to punish this. But TSM is in the area, and they are ready.
Huni can also get a Grand Skyfall in. Cody Sun's on the top of this fight. Grand Skyfall's gonna pinch TSM out, trying to cordon them off here. Good stun onto Vulcan and Lyra as there's really no follow-up just yet. They're gonna be taken down smoothly to start this one off. And TSM looks if they can get a counter, but it doesn't look like it. Clutch will still try Rift Herald.
I think that was a real error in strategy from TSM. They're sticking around though, see if part 2 works out.
Just on the other side, Damonte's ready to get in. Remember, Pop Blossom is up. If he can get into that choke point, it's going to be big, but TSM has a lot of movement with Sven, a lot of sustain in that position of the jungle, but Clutch still wants Rift.
I mean, TSM has got to be careful. Damonte still has his flash and his ultimate here, and they are kind of playing with fire, it feels like.
That's going to be one down. Lyra goes down. Who's going to be getting the Rift Herald now? And it is going to Broken Blade. 40 seconds to pick it up for TSM, and they're going to start trying to take down Damonte. Chase him down to the Raptor Pit as Cody Sun has to Feather Storm out of this one, and TSM come up huge.
And the war of attrition, Sona wins. And did you see that snipe from Broken Blade? He finds the shock blast onto the low health Lyra that's still taking the Rift Herald, finds the kill on the jungler, and then they run over the team fight. I did not think that was going to work out due to the Ocean Drake that they had already picked up, but they just stay at it. Here is the part 1 where they're able to pick up the first run out. Smoothie does get stunned up by the Pantheon into the Sejuani stolen ultimate there from Lyra. So that's the first kill. You think they've got it in the bag, but Lyra got so low. Look at this snipe from Broken Blade on the outside. There's a control ward in that brush, by the way.
Yeah, and we have Spica coming back, lands a good ultimate there onto Huni, and it just became, you know, Clutch kind of trying to play this long fight out against the Sona, who's gonna just continually sustain up the poke, wearing them down, and this Rift Herald was also doing damage non-stop. Spirixian flashing in, trying to get him, but not really having even close to enough damage.
And that was with the Ocean Drake, so I thought Clutch had it in the bag. You know, they had the extra person down, but TSM kept at it, and now they've been able to Ocean Drake of their own with everybody now on the bottom side.
What Cody Sun did here.
Power.
Yeah, so this is back up again to the top side. Cody Sun just laying a trap out of that brush. Nice little route onto Broken Blade, but just straight up goes down. I mean, Cody Sun was at like 40% health when he actually went for that play. So certainly underestimating the amount of damage that Jace will do in the early game.
Yeah, he activated the trap card and then he destroyed it right there as Broken Blade had the answer. Rift Herald used on the bottom side. TSM now pushing ahead full steam.
Beautifully done. First turret's going to be there on the bot side as they can now start to spread out around the map. Speak is already trying to get his hands in the cookie jar a little bit more with blue buff. They can see TSM with the wards here. Rift Herald still got him deterred on that bot side. And a great yank out here as they walk away with the blue buff. are able to deliver that over to TSM. Bjergsen pruning the top side, and they're not losing too much pressure as it's now TSM's game. We had no kills to start off. Now we're at 4-1.
I mean, TSM was honestly looking so good off the back of that Rift Herald fight. You know, Clutch just didn't have an effective turn, right? You know, they still had the flash ultimate from Demonte. I felt like they should have allowed TSM to funnel into them, then look for the engage. But, you know, that all goes wrong. They get a kill on the top side. Now that has turned into first turret on the bottom side. You know, this Sona Tahm Kench comp is going to be kind of catapulted into the mid game where they're going to be so powerful.
Exactly. That's one of the biggest things. They've got an Azir scaling along with the team fight of the Sona that will come to fruition later in the game. All those 3 kills went to Broken Blade on the Jace. Broken Blade is the early game force for TSM. Those 3 kills funded a tremendous amount of lethality. So while Clutch had been doing a very good job in the early game, throwing a lot of resources to Huni, trying focusing that lane, getting him around the map. Now it is a very difficult problem to deal with because Broken Blade has so much damage behind those shock blasts.
Taking stock of CS looks pretty good around the map. Got to combine the bottom sides for Sven and Smoothie. And then Sona and Tahm Kench lane. Something you get out of that as well in the best of series is you might start pulling that Sona or Tahm Kench ban out of Clutch Gaming. Being able to show things like this in the first game and really give them trouble at one of their favorite objectives throughout the lane really makes the other team start to think a bit different and pick some bans.
Yeah, it certainly does. And also, you know, credit to TSM for kind of being prepared for that Rift Herald play, right? You
Absolutely.
know, the start of the fight certainly didn't go well for them, but this is what Clutch has done every single game throughout playoffs, really, has been their go-to play, and they've been so good at executing on it. But one of the things we talked about is TSM has essentially had a month to prepare for this. They have watched all these other best of fives. They watched, you know, Clutch playing in that 3rd place match. They watched Clutch play against FlyQuest and then CLG, right? So they have
played
3
against
best of 3s, yeah, but just since then, to be able to actually prepare and study.
Oh boy, not looking good right now, and that's going to be Vulcan going down immediately in a fiery storm. We'll see if they can get some more back. Papasu going in! A 3-man lockup from Demonte coming up huge. Smoothie's trying to answer back. Remember that Sven Sustain is going to be there with Bjergsen and Broken Blade coming in from the side. Cody Sun has to kind of branch off to the right, and that is not looking good for Huni as he goes down being the straggler. Demonte now the caboose on this train as it tries to go exit. On this trail. I don't think it's going to happen. He's going to get hit up at least the kills for Sven. And Bjergsen says, I'm going to slide right in for that one as he picks up another one for himself at 1-0-4.
Yeah, and Broken Blade will take that opportunity to push on Lyra here. Gonna get some damage on the turret. With the respawn of Vulcan, they might try and attack
He
him.
has the quickness. They could try to go for a quick kill. Possibly seeing Smoothie would deter that to the skies. Get some damage on Vulcan as he gives him a quick hammer off to say no, thank you.
And TSM now are just in full control. It's honestly really hard to play against Sona Tahm Kench from behind because they will group and they will force you to engage into them where they are strongest. So Clutch really now has a very difficult job, but they're actually just going to try to engage here right now.
Here comes over the wall. Grand Skyfall going in now onto Sven. He could go down very fast. He almost stays alive for a second, but the next target's going to be Spica as he is the trailing member. All of TSM gets himself to a pretty safe spot without losing too much of the map, but they have to stay here, as I believe that Drake is coming up soon.
Yeah, getting that kill right before the Dragon spawn, pretty big as it should now be. A Clutch Dragon grabbing the mountain here gives them another avenue to kind of attack TSM as the Baron becomes much more assailable. Those turrets become much more assailable, but TSM will at least trade back that turret.
Yeah, I think that is a good counterattack from Clutch to kind of stop the bleeding, but if you gave so much money to this Azir, Sona, Tahm Kench, you know, core team fight from TSM, it is going to be very hard for Clutch to make play after play like that to bring this game back in order for them. Because if you look at the team comps coming into this game, they had very different timelines that they wanted to operate on. And we have jumped way ahead to TSM's version of that timeline. We've got double completed Sightstone items now for the Eye of Frost, as well as Smoothies for the Tahm Kench. So TSM will be able to get an explosion of vision through the jungle, and it's going to be hard for Clutch to mount more of those surprise plays.
Yeah, they're feeling it. You can see 3 sweepers around the map. Huni, Lyra, and Vulcan still holding on to that, so they're trying to deny whatever is coming in and encroaching onto their side of the map. Pressing up over up to 20 minutes now. We're at 18, 7-3, and TSM is looking at a 2,500 to 3,000 gold lead right now as it fluctuates back and forth. Mid lane seems to be the control, make the next move, and find a way to get to one of these second-tier turrets without pushing themselves too far into some clutch engage territory.
One of the things, yeah, they're going to have to be very careful about is how often Jace is playing side lane. You know, if you do something like send Nico out to answer the Jace, then you can bring in the Pantheon for that 2v1 and potentially shut that down. So what Clutch is going to want to do here is really control the side lane push, shove out these waves, force someone from TSM to answer that so that TSM is split up and not really as this kind of core 5 that they want to be together for their fights.
And TSM's response to that should be, you know, recognizing this danger, having Smoothly with the Tahm Kench and Abyssal Voyage, you know, in placement to answer. Level 1 Abyssal Voyage is very short now, so it makes it much more difficult than in the past. So they have to keep track of all these teleport cooldowns to make sure they don't give Clutch an opening, you know, to get that money back. Because if you win, you know, get that pick off and you get the Baron, you can still snowball ahead and win this game.
We need to prune top now. It doesn't seem like TSM really wants anything of that forward motion. Maybe get a little bit of a bait around the Baron if they can get some tags onto Clutch members. But not knowing where Demonte is, not knowing where Huni is going to drop in, kind of puts a stopper on any engages you're going to want to do on just a few members.
Just taking a look at the items completed here for Broken Blade now, Dustblade as well as Ghostblade, there is not a single piece of armor to be found on the Clutch Gaming team because they're dealing with Sona, with the Azir, and they're going to have to kind of itemize more health or just pure offense. So any shock blast that this Jace is able to hit, really across the board, has the potential to just push you out of the fight.
Bit of a risk, right? You play a little poke game, you play a good fight team with Sona and Tahm Kench, but if you start losing that poke game, the game goes very awry quickly and everything's in your face from Clutch. They're about to dive every turret you have. If you do it well, it's the flip side. TSM's always in the lead, and that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and with that top tower taken down, you can see earlier I talked about an explosion of vision. It has taken place around the Baron. You know, the Eye of Frost, the Eye of the Aspect, as well as Control Wards, all from TSM, focusing on the Baron area, you know, trying to get this advantage so that Clutch have to get into a bad position trying to face check. Zale's talking about they have no armor. They have no defenses of any kind. Nobody can face check anything on this team. So if TSM just establishes vision, then they force Clutch Gaming into a very risky scenario, and you start to get a bit paranoid.
Yeah, and that's one of, I think, the most overlooked kind of points of power of the Sona Tahm Kench style of team comps is that you have the double sight stone. And when you're looking at a comp like Clutch, and we're talking about, okay, well, how do you get back in? It's picks, right? Picks are so much more difficult when you're being tracked on all these wards. You know, more sweepers are coming through. We can see, you know, 3 sweepers already grabbed up here by Clutch because they know they have to be able to combat all this vision. And Huni is in a spot here where he could look for an engage with the ultimate, but they have to wait for Cody-san for sure.
And Demonte as well could get a flank on Nico. That's one of the big things about Nico. She can fall off really hard, but right now has flash, could get a big flash ultimate. Things go down though, they got vision. Demonte's got to run for it.
It's a mission impossible. He's going to figure it out here.
They're chasing him, but away from the Baron. So Clutch are trying to go to Baron to draw that away from Demonte, so he doesn't have to bail out of the bottom half of the map game plan here.
Demonte has no TP though, so if there was to be an engage up on that top side, he actually can't get there. So, you know, he's gonna reset. TSM is starting the Dragon. We'll have to see if Clutch is aware of this. It does not look like they are, as we see the reset coming through here from Lyra, so it will just be an easy Dragon for TSM.
Yeah, it's an awesome split that they have. Sona, Tahm Kench still up towards Baron. If they do have the Abyssal Voyage down from anything or to aggress on that Dragon fight, they would have been fine. So great split, kind of figuring out where Clutch was, but also covering all their bases as they took the current objective. So we got 5 minutes on that next Drake. It's going to be another Mountain third of the game. We do have Baron up on the map right now. TSM's vision has been covering that as Clutch is slowly starting to build their vision wall back up, slowly going over the top side of the map, but it could be cleared out fast, and that's only vision they're using as info right now. It's not stuff they can use to engage or make a fight happen. Things are slow going for Clutch, 22 minutes in.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out a way to get this Nico into a good flank position, because that's going to be the only way they get a good win in the team fight. If you ult multiple people, Cody-san gets very close to the brush, does have his ultimate available for defense if needed.
Yeah, and TSM looks like they just are okay not actually answering the split push right now. They're group 5 top. They're actually just going to push this and try to force Clutch to come to them.
Teleport comes in. This is a possible flank we're talking about.
Oh, there's the Pantheon ultimate.
Gonna be Nico right behind him, Damonte and Vulcan. Lyra now gathering in that little river channel. And first divide goes through, and they're gonna dive right onto Bjergsen.
Oh,
He gets saved. Damonte's in there, and he's gonna be getting a few. That's Sven going down as well as Bjergsen. Turning on to Smoothie, they're trying to get some kills as Broken Blade fires in from the outside. But no go for him. It's like he's hitting a brick wall at this point. Oh. And Cody's son comes up huge. Losing Vulcan at the end of the fight due to Spica, and what a back and forth. The 3 for 2 in favor of Clutch.
That was the dream scenario for Clutch. They got this TSM squad fully circled in. You could see the flank coming in from 2 areas here. Huni ults down, Sejuani ultimate not going to be there. So then Vulcan will flash over the Azir wall to knock up Bjergsen. That's the Devour. And then Damonte got in for the big ultimate. But on the bottom side, Broken Blade was able to solo out Lyra. This Jace just completely eliminates the enemy jungler and allows them, for TSM, to at least get 2 kills on the back side of it, and it only ends up being 1 extra kill for the side of Clutch Gaming, with them getting that big flank on the Nico, using the flash ultimate there as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was a 4-man Nico ultimate. You know, the fact that Broken Blade was split from that, was able to win out on his side of the fight, was so critical for TSM, because if he is caught with the rest of the team, that is Baron for Clutch there, and that is the game. You know, just flipping on its head. But Broken Blade, so much of the gold is in his pocket, so he plays out these fights well. Even if Bjergsen or Sven goes down, he can still carry the fight.
Yeah, that's a 5-kill Jace with full lethality. All 3 items online now. Doing 40% of Vulcan's health there with the Shock Blast.
TSM always gets so aggressive after a moment like that, knowing it should not have happened. Props to Clutch for being able to find the exact moment when all of TSM groups together for that turret. But I don't think TSM is going to make that mistake too many more times in the game. So now it gets harder. Damonte has to have different angles. Already here from the bot side. Here comes the Grand Ball. Damonte in from the left, but they're just going to try to separate TSM here. Crescendo comes back from Sven. That's going to be the answer from Spica now with his ultimate. And Clutch is not liking this engage as it gets turned around. And now they are headed for the base. Spica almost getting a bit more damage forward. And Vulcan uses that entrance to exit.
And TSM don't have to stop there. They can go straight to Baron. They didn't kill anyone, but they got huge chunks of health off of the side of Clutch Gaming, who only have the 1 Ocean Drake to rely on to try and heal back up. And even with that, teleports start to come out. They have to contest.
Huni, Guardian Angel is up. Eyes onto Cody's son as well. He still has Featherstorm as Baron has a lot of HP for this one to be tempted by both teams. TSM is definitely given a big chance here to Clutch Gaming, as they already have a 2,500 gold lead, but Clutch could easily get themselves back into the game on this one. Spica going low. Damonte now into the stasis. Pop Blossom hits nothing. That might trigger TSM to want to go into the fight. Yes, Broken Blade is just coming in from the right side, and that allows Clutch to see that they need to back off and find a bit of a better defensive position. What a back and forth.
Yeah, they do stop them from the Baron, though, and they should be able to take this mid lane turret. Damonte with the 4-man root!
That's going to be huge. He throws the clone in. The rest of the team comes in. Vulcan with the entrance, and he dies on the exit. Bjergsen's going to go down as Damonte and Lyra put the damage in. Smoothie's the last one trying to be a meat wall for the team, as Broken Blade, again, is always trying to pick apart Clutch. Never coming from the same direction as his team, and always making Clutch think twice in these fights. TSM never stopping and pushing forward, but neither is Clutch, and I expect them to turn here again.
Yeah, we're still going. They got Soda sustained. So TSM back out, clearing the minion waves, and with the extra poke from Jace, they got the Guardian Angel off of Huni. Still sitting around. Cody's son in the brush.
Cody's son right in the face of Spica. He's gonna say, let's go! One goes in, that's Damonte's clone, and they use a bit on it, and now TSM may not have enough to fight. They stay, but at what cost? Here comes Huni back into the fight, dropping with the Grand Skyfall, and it might be enough time to call it quits, as Sven still up at 100% HP.
That was quite the marathon there, Riv. We had a lot of Soda sustained, and then 2 separate brush camps from Clutch Gaming to get 2 separate picks for themselves to finally get another edge in this fight. And we're going to return back to the same area of the map, my friends, because the Baron was not taken, and the wards still need to be placed.
And Cody's son, so much confidence to just... He's the one camping the bush solo, waiting for that Sejuani to come in. They're able to turn it around on TSM, and a good string of plays here for Clutch, as they really have been able to kind of close the gap in this game. this gold lead has been getting slightly smaller for TSM, and as time is going on, Cody-san closing in on his IE, that would be his 4th completed item, and he is going to become very threatening.
And that last 5 minutes of fighting was allowing Damonte's flash cooldown to come up. Meanwhile, everyone else in the game was using their flashes for that. So this is going to be the big difference. If you look at the next team fight, if they are timing the flashes correctly, Clutch will know that it is Damonte's time to shine. This is the possibility there, trying to get in for the big team-wide Nico ultimate. But if TSM can deny that, they will be able to win the war of attrition.
So Clutch here, it looks like they're thinking about sending Lyra down to just try to solo out the Dragon while the rest of them defend any potential Baron play, but not feeling fully confident to go for it. And TSM does have such good pokes. They have to be on point with these engages, but that is Damonte on the top side.
Broken Blade walks right into Damonte and the rest of the team. He's going to go down immediately. That's a huge shutdown in gold as well. Going over to Cody-san. Grand Sky falls in. Sven is down. That's a double kill for the marksman. And now Bjergsen tries to answer back. TSM never done, never out. Sundisk in mid as they will try to protect more of their map.
Even though Huni goes down in it, I like that play to get the kill, to get the bounty off of this Jace. That was the 6-kill Jace that they traded Huni's life for. And they're able to gain control of Summoner's Rift now. Name of the game for Clutch has been Camp in a Brush. Someone will walk over, you will get the pick, and now it has earned them an objective.
And credit to them, utilizing this triple sweeper setup here has been so effective. It is at TSM, trying with these double sight stones to sport out all these flanks. But they're constantly sweeping them out, constantly buying pink wards to actually clear out all this vision, to be able to attack from multiple sides. And this was Broken Blade face checking the Nico here and just getting lit up immediately. Then the Pantheon ult comes through as they want to try to chase through and kill Speak off so they could go to the Baron.
Yeah, meanwhile, really good engage from Vulcan there. He was so clean on the recon, sidestepping the Sona ultimate in order to get his lockup, which kept them in place, for the Huni ultimate to be in range with Pantheon. So everybody on Clutch kind of trying to do their part to set this up. And we're back at it again. Very, very close to even in gold now as TSM still hold the lead, but Clutch continue to find these plays by getting these pockets of vision control.
And I want to highlight Cody-san now. Look at those items completed. He's 7-1 at this point. He's been picking up so many of the kills in these team fights. That is an incredibly powerful 4-item setup there that he has for himself. And Cody-san has been monstrous in these late game team fights for Clutch. So if you lose track of him for one moment, a couple autos, you can shred through someone like Sven or Bjergsen.
Definitely a dangerous bottom lane. Noting him, noting Vulcan as well. Such kind of a pop-out year for him. Only 2016 was like CLG Black, CLG Academy, and now into the LCS, and a spot at Worlds possibly. Absolutely crazy, crazy run for him as a support. 11-10 here. 31.5 minutes coming up on the clock. It's getting quite pressured around this map with that Baron still up, and neither team ever able to get the better of it.
It's going to be interesting to watch the next engage here because we have a lot of key team fight items now available. The cooldown on Huni's Guardian Angel is back up, but Lyra also has a stopwatch on the side of Clutch. So both of those engagers have revive or stasis possibilities they can try and initiate on TSM and then buy time for the team. But TSM side also has 2 stone plates on their 2 tankiest members in the Sejuani as well as the Tom Kent.
Yeah, it feels like Clutch have made the decision to send Nico bot, trying to get that gold for the Zhonyas. He doesn't need that much more gold, so they're trying to have this 4-man squad hold on, donate a little bit more gold here to Damonte, and if he could get that Zhonyas for the team fight, it would be huge for Clutch.
Quite a few items coming out here we haven't seen in a while. Edge of Night in, Abyss
Found
Voyage
him.
to the top. Huni flashing over the wall, not the worst ability for him to lose. Bjergsen still wants it. He says they can clean it up. That's going to be a Guardian Angel down for Huni as well as Huni. Bot lane's hit up by Damonte, so Clutch is trying to work off the ball here, but TSM now have full eyes on Baron.
Yeah, Huni was trying to sneak through, but there were too many wards, and TSM saw him. They'll burn down the Baron, while Damonte's trying to burn down bottom lane. This is a race, and Lyra could go for the steal.
Lyra over the wall. Who's the greatest jungler of all? I don't even think he's going to attempt it. It's going over to Sven as this support takes it in the marksman position. That's Vulcan almost going down. Another shot could take him out, but he's going to limp away. No! Broken Blade finding the shot. Eagle Eye Shock Blast as he's gonna still move forward. Form changing, giving him the movement speed, looking for it to the skies, but he didn't quite have the cooldown just yet on Cody Sun, but he does get that flash, and they are on to the middle turrets.
Yeah, no reason for them to stop. They have the Ocean Dragon, they have the Sona. They can just keep going here. Multiple members are down for Clutch, so TSM want to try to take this inhibitor right away, but they have to be careful that they don't lose their bottom inhibitor to minions. Instead, they're actually looking to potentially just try to end this. I mean, Jace's team being in, they're going for the killing blow.
Oh, there is 10 seconds left on Vulcan. He's about to get back up, and we might go for it.
TSM, remember this previous game, that
they're losing their
3-1
inhibitor.
score, it's nothing that they want to happen again. They're almost trying to put the finishing touches here on game 1, and they're gonna go ahead and back off after taking an hit.
I mean, that was honestly a terrible call from TSM. TPing Jace back in, he could have saved the bottom inhibitor. They would have got the mid inhib anyway. Got a little bit too excited there, I think, you know, feeling like they maybe could end the game.
Yeah, I mean, Broken Blade was literally in the base
Yeah.
with Baron buff there, and the inhibitor is still alive, but they opt for the attempt on the Nexus turrets, and that is going to be one inhibitor apiece now. Bottom lane will be flooded here for Clutch Gaming. TSM still wearing the Baron buff, so they want to take on the strong lane. I think this is the correct choice because they will have supers going down mid lane.
Oh, look at
they
Vulcan.
can easily deal with Clutch Gaming supers. I think it's too far ahead of the rest of the team here. And they could just push back on the strong lane for Clutch. That's kind of nullifying the first few minutes of those super minions.
Lyra, no ultimate and waiting on his ultimate, so actually quite a bit of deficit in power there for the side of Clutch Gaming. TSM moving up strong, and they have all their members now on the bot side.
Yeah, TSM just needs to play this patiently. They have supers already here in the mid lane, so it's up to Clutch to actually respond to that. They're going to send Huni over, who can rejoin the fight with that ultimate. But TSM have this window, but there's a potential Nico flank.
He's going to flash over the wall.
Grand Skyfall just behind. This could be huge. Oh, Sven flashed into him. He's going to get the roof, but the crescendo, that could absolutely change the fight. Clutch was expecting him, but the follow-up from the rest of the team, they didn't need Demonte. They wiped TSM out of the bottom lane.
They get flanked again, Azael again with the Sona double Sightstone team. Demonte finds the perfect pocket over the wall, and Sven flashes right into him.
Demonte read him like a book. He did not flash over the wall, you know, looking for that big 5-man ultimate. He said, Sven is gonna come to me, and into his waiting arms, he jumps.
TSM need to look both ways before they cross the river here because they keep on getting flanked or walking in the brushes, and Clutch Gaming are going to take the dragon after.
And it's amazing from Clutch. Kobe, you've been talking about the vision, but look at the scores for TSM's side. They have absurd vision scores as we watch this again compared to Clutch, but somehow Clutch finds a way in every damn time.
Yeah, and this was just so intelligent from Demonte, waiting for Sven. Smoothie flashes over for the Devourer to save him, but Demonte still has his flash to follow and actually clean that up. And these engages are just so good from Clutch, finding multiple angles, not using the Pantheon as the only one to dive in there. They're always having the Nico in position to go with him.
I like that you're pointing this out because the timing is so critical to this. You know, they have a lot of these tools, but it's hard to actually execute that in game. And the timings that they are getting them off with multiple people engaging at the precise second is actually quite impressive for Clutch, gaining a lot of these team fight victories.
Yeah, I mean, especially when the other team has a Tom Kench, right? If you mistime this at all, Pantheon lands in, just gets Sejuani ulted, instantly dies, and the team fight is over. So everything has to happen at once.
I love it. Clutch Gaming, aka Chaos Gaming. Hard to fight against this team. You see the Grand Skyfall coming, and honestly, you're wondering where Demonte is. You know where that Pantheon is going. These guys have made it happen now. 36 minutes in as we hit 37 minutes.
Yeah, a big problem for TSM is that while they do have a big scaling threat in Bjergsen, this Azir is going to be a monster later. He's already approaching the 3rd item completion here. They haven't been able to create space for him to auto-attack. Because Clutch are getting these flanks, because they're attacking from multiple directions, Bjergsen has no ground to stand on and get that DPS off.
Grand Skyfall comes up. Demonte's just on the left there. He's going to be able to get himself into this fight. Glacial Prison misses from Spica. They quickly take down Vulcan, though. That's the support for Clutch Gaming as now TSM tries to turn the damage back onto Clutch. Bjergsen's in a good spot, but he can't get the soldiers down into the right position. And that's Cody Sun getting backed out of this fight. TSM did find the members they needed. Not as many kills, maybe, but they have pushed away Clutch Gaming. And it is a forced Cody's son that goes down from Smoothie's Abyssal Voyage. TSM are looking for the base.
Yep, that is gonna be game number 1. This time around, Bjergsen dodges the Sejuani ultimate that was stolen by Lyra, and they absolutely melt Clutch.
Game 1 in the regional qualifier finals going to TSM as they want revenge over Clutch Gaming.
They have that middle inhib down, and